Hi, good people. This is Deborah. I hope your day is going well. Um, Let me read the disclaimer. All information provided on this channel is for educational purposes only, and this channel does not promote or encourage misuse of the information. I will use words not intending to offend people, but to describe my point of view and how I see things. In this video, I want to share where I stand today about the Bible. Over the past few years, my study has taken me deep into esoteric realm through limited books, but by relying on my spiritual intuition. What you are watching now reflects the knowledge I have gained and how it has shaped my understanding. Through my journey, I have learned that the Bible, along with other books or texts, was ultimately written by the priestly brotherhood to control the masses. This is not something that everyone will understand. Only those with ears to hear will truly grasp the message I am sharing here. Moving forward, I will share the insights that have helped me in my struggles in these videos. My focus is on sharing what has been revealed to me. Take what resonates with you and what does not resonate with you, put it on the shelf or throw it away. Just keep in mind, we all have different paths, but we'll end up at the same destination. Now, this particular video is about why torture yourself. False preachers were set up by the system who came up with the idea of a church with an organization and a building where people sit down and hear a sermon created by man's ego. Now, it certainly was not the Great Mother. Now, I've listed some scriptures that you might want to go take a look at. Uh, and keep in mind, the truth came with you at birth, already inside you from the soul. It was already there. Nobody have to teach you. All you have to do is mentally go within yourself and see it for yourself. Now, if you take a look at Jeremiah 12:10, Jeremiah 14:14, Jeremiah 8:9, Ezekiel 36:27, Ecclesiastes 7:25, Ecclesiastes 12:7, Ecclesiastes 1:13 through 18, Daniel 7:25, Corinthians 6:19, Acts 7:48. Once you look at that and it talks about what's going to happen, it already happened, people. You came in with it. Now, let me share the literal interpretation of these verses. The Bible warns against those who preach or prophesy falsely in the name of, and I put the tetragrammaton, you're going to see that in my presentation. And many of these warnings come from the Old Testament prophets. In Jeremiah 12:10, uh, the the tetragrammaton is there. It speaks of the shepherds or leaders who destroy the vineyard, devouring and scattering the flock. These leaders do not have the guidance from above, but follow their selfish desires. Similarly, in Jeremiah 14:14, directly condemns the false prophets, saying, I have not sent them, commanded them, nor spoken to them. These individuals claim to speak on behalf of the Most High. I'm going to say it for now, or the Elohim. for now. I'm giving you what is in the Bible, but their words are nothing but lies and deceit, leading people astray from the truth. Jeremiah 8 through 9 further highlights the foolishness of such false teachings, asking, how can you say we are wise and the law of the Most High is with us? Look, the false pen of the scribe certainly worked falsehood. The wisdom of these false prophets is empty and does not come from the Most High, which is why they fail to lead people into righteousness. Now, I assure you, the pen of the scribes are those that have put together these books for you, for us. I'm not there anymore, and I'm not going to stay there. I'm just keep on going. Now, in Ecclesiastes 7:25, Solomon acknowledges the difficulty of truly understanding the ways of wisdom. Nothing. And he says, it was no man named Solomon, but we're going to look at it from a literal standpoint. I applied my heart to know, to search, and to seek out wisdom and the reason of things, showing how elusive wisdom can be without the guidance of the Most High. Ecclesiastes 12:7 also reminds us of the ultimate reality that the dust will return to the earth as it was. That's the physical body. The body is the dust, and the spirit will return to the Most High that gave it. Now, I'm not going to get too much in the esoteric part of it, but you need to go back and look at these things. Human wisdom and understanding are fleeting, but true wisdom, which comes from the Most High, I'm just saying Most High for the Bible, Elohim, has eternal significance. Now, the eternal aspects of true wisdom should inspire us to seek it diligently. Ecclesiastes 1:13 through 18 reflects the restless pursuit of wisdom, knowing under the sun, stating, I applied my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all that is done under heaven, in the earth, but ultimately finding that it leads only to sorrow, as the pursuit of wisdom without guidance in vain and unfully. It's going to lead to sorrow because you don't understand the purpose of it. Finally, in Daniel 7:25, prophesies of a time when a king will speak against the Most High, wear out the saints, and attempt to change times and laws, symbolizing the rise of deceit, false teaching in the last days. This figure seeks to distort the truth, but those who are wise in the Most High ways will persevere despite these deceptions. Now, all this has already happened. All of it. There is no prophecy here. Everything it has already happened. Now, all of these scriptures serve as a warning that wisdom, knowledge, and guidance must be sought from the Most High. For without the truth, people will be led astray by those who speak falsely in the name. Jeremiah 8 through 9 criticize those who falsely claim to have wisdom but do not possess true understanding, revealing the emptiness of their words. Together, these scriptures emphasizes the necessity of seeking true wisdom, recognizing the danger of false teaching, and understanding that human wisdom is insignificant without true guidance. It is a call to action for us to exercise discernment and not mindlessly follow any teachings. 1 Corinthians 6:19 says, "Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Most High Spirit of holiness, which is in you, which ye have of the Most High, and ye are not your own." Okay, that's what 1 Corinthians 6:19 says. Then Ezekiel 36:27 says, "I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgment and do them." Already, everything that you need came through the womb with you, through your mother's womb. Okay, ain't nothing gonna take place that hadn't already been taking place. Now, Acts 7:48 says, "Howbeit the Most High dwells not in temples made with hands." It tells you all you need to know, but they kind of tweak it. They kind of tweak it. And it says here in Acts 7:17-24, it says, "God that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is Lord of heaven and earth, dwells not in temples made with hands." Ain't nothing in them in what you call churches today. Now, no church in the Bible. First church does not appear in the Bible. Even in the New Testament, the word consistently mistranslated as church in Greek is ecclesia. It does not mean church. It means the called out ones, the called out ones. It has essentially the same meaning as the chosen people in the Old Testament, the elect in the New Testament. The word synagogue and church appears in the Bible only in the New Testament. The first time the word synagogue is used in the New Testament is in Matthew 12:9. The word mistranslated synagogue is Hebrew mawadah, which means an appointed time, which is a feast, not a meeting place or a synagogue. It refers to a time or an event, not a place. The Septuagint, the Hebrew Old Testament translated into Greek, translated this Hebrew word mawadah as feast. Okay. Um, People should leave the church, the buildings, and invest in truth within self. Church leaders are entertainers and want you to invest in a building luxury homes for them, jets, while the homeless, the poor, the sick need help. Who told you that going to church is what we supposed to do? I'm here to tell you, it is not the spirit of truth. Remember, your personal truth is more valuable than any institutional belief. Stepping away from the church is okay to find it. This step is not a loss, but a gain of freedom and independence. Now, I want to share a couple of things with you about church for me. I was up in Little Rock, Arkansas in a revival. And the so-called prophet told the people, get in line. God told me to tell you to give $100. So I got in line, being a smart ass. I got in line with my little $100, and I got in line to be a little smart ass because I knew he was a lying prophet. because I knew the Most High did not send him. And so he, when he got to me, he said these words to me. He said, God didn't tell me to tell you to come up here and give $100. Now, I'm going to tell you why God didn't tell him. My mother was on the artillery to preach, okay? So he knew I was her daughter, so he didn't want the $100 from me. Of course, I walked away laughing. I'm watching the game play out. I went to another church. Uh, my mother, she loved to go to those churches that where they had these so-called prophets. And I went to another church, one of a well-known family. They sell hair products here in Atlanta. One of the brothers, uh, two of them have churches. One of the brothers was doing a revival, and they brought this guy. I believe they brought him from Alabama. So I had to take my mother to that place for the whole week. I think it was for a whole week. It's been some time, people, and she he would sit there and prophesy to all them people. But when he gets over, he was walking around prophesying, and when he got to me, he just stood there. And so one night rather, he pointed me out, and he said, "See this woman right here?" And it was unexpected. He said, "This woman pays attention to everything. She's very quiet, but she pays attention to everything." Now that part he got right. Ain't too much gonna get past me. Maybe a little bit now since I've gotten older, but when I was younger, nothing got past me. But anyway, what happened was my mother bought him an African attire, and I don't know where they got to him, but she was told that he rejected the attire, and so I went to pick it up. So somebody wore it because they put it in the cleaner, in the dry cleaners. And this particular guy, these people asked for money, and they know good and well that tithing has nothing to do with giving. Now, in the Old Testament, if these preachers want to call themselves the Levites didn't have an inheritance according to the literal part of. So all they had was food, So and so they didn't have an inheritance. And I don't know why preachers feel that they're entitled to. They telling you they prophet lying and they lying to you as a people, because if they were true and sent by the Most High, they would have told you things that would free your mind. I when I was let me get back to the tithing. So the tithing has to do with a tenth part of something. It has nothing to do with uh uh you giving a tenth part of your income. Not at all. A particular preacher finally said that. Well, not that, but he finally confessed the truth. It's amazing. Back during some years when I used to go to his church myself on Wednesday for Bible study, um, people were under scope when it came to me. I expect for you to be who you say you are. I expect for you to be a female of integrity and a male of integrity. And I saw none. I saw absolutely none of integrity. And so tithing has nothing to do with giving. Um, you make that decision on your own. Integrity does give, integrity gives cheerfully. Uh, integrity helps, integrity has compassion. Non integrity, when you have given money to the church and you need help yourself, then they make a decision whether they're going to help you or not, when it should be automatic. I remember one time when I was had lost my job. Well, I didn't lose my job, I quit. And my child got pregnant. Her daddy put her out. And so I decided to go to a church. And this particular church had fresh food. And so when I went there, they gave me the food, but the preacher called me in the office and he called himself one to minister to me. When he began to do that, I cut him off. And I told him, I said, don't ever assume because people are having financial problems that they don't study or they don't research. And when he was giving me the Jesus story, I had moved on to the Yahshua story. Okay. And he really pissed me off because, first of all, you don't give people stuff and then try to minister to them. That's not what they want. If you got stuff to give people when they need help, you just need to help them and keep your damn mouth shut. Nobody wants to hear about no Bible when they trying to figure out how they gonna make some money. Nobody wants to figure out about no Bible when they're in a lot of pain. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear about your experience, how you had miracles. Nobody wants to hear that when they're going through stuff. Learn to shut your mouth and speak the things that's going to be encouraging for people. I get so sick, and I'm at a point now. I'm just sick of these people that call themselves preacher. You're gonna tell somebody shut the door until you collect some money. What you need to do is go back and start singing so you can make your own money instead of putting heavy burdens on people. And people, if I were you, I would just run my ass as far as I could go from any church. Because when we used to do gatherings, we used to gather in our homes, and no one person did the cooking the previous day. No one, because we did Sabbath. We honor Sabbath. During the time we were doing Sabbath, we honor Sabbath. No one person did the cooking. No one person put burdens. And then the ones that didn't have nothing, they didn't have to give nothing. That's how it's supposed to do. It's supposed to work that way. Those that are among you that have less, you should never ask. You should just pay for it yourself. It's sad the way people are down here in this earth. It just makes me sick to my stomach to see the behavior of these things that call themselves pastors. And then these things that call themselves prophetess and prophets. And then when somebody says something that is the opposite of the way you think, then you want to bring down brimstone and fire on people. You ain't got no hair to put me in. No hair. And you ain't got no hair to put nobody else on. And your words have no power when it comes to me and many other people. I'm just sick of those in the religion environment. You're really making a fool of yourself. Because if I was one that was trying to seek a church to come to and I'm hurting, there's none. I'm in Atlanta. It's not one church, not one. There is one guy that speaks elegantly, but he can do that because he had money from the beginning. He didn't need a church to give him money. He came into money. But he's the only one. If I made a decision to go to a church and I want to sit and listen to somebody, a motivated speaker, then he would be the church I would go to. But I wouldn't go to a church today looking for my salvation or my healing because I know that it comes from within myself. You came in the earth through the womb with that package. I just don't understand why people are so afraid of themselves. You don't need somebody outside of you to tell you what you should be doing. And the reason why I talk about church, because that is not the place for you to know your spiritual life. It doesn't come from them because they're not going to teach it. Those guys are 501c3 preachers. And they tell you that church and state does not go hand in hand, but they do. You don't believe me? Go look at 501c3. But anyway, I have been watching the church cut up on YouTube. And so I came to do this video. And I know some of you are not going to like it, and some of you is going to be okay with it. But just keep in mind, I hurt for the people because of their ignorance. I really do. I went from Jesus being taught to me as a child growing up. My mother had a rug on her wall that had this albino Jesus with the sun behind it, and these 12 albino people sitting at the, I guess they call it the Last Supper. So I watched that growing up, okay? Subliminal. But it didn't work for me because my attitude is I'm a brown skinned girl. Why is that picture a different skin tone than mine? So anyway, so I went from Jesus into the Yahshua story, into the Krishna story, into the other 16 saviors. Okay? Then I went into Yahweh, Yahweh, Jehovah, Yahweh, the moon god. Then I went into the Gnostics. I'm telling you, people, your truth is inside you. That's where it is. These people are in your face, entertaining you, but behind your back, they're doing some crazy shit out there. And I'm not gonna go into the things that they're doing, but they are doing some things, and it's not to help you. They pretty much helping themselves. Anytime somebody stand up and tell you God said to give me this, I need 10 of y'all to give me $1,000. God said, and God is gonna bless you. Let me tell you something. There is something called giving and receiving in this earth already. As long as you're helping somebody, you ain't got to help them. They can go out there and get a job just like you do. But anyway, I just wanted to vent. So, anyway, people, until the next time.